Hello everyone, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video that I have been looking forward to bringing you for quite some time. I am excited to share with you these Christmas journals I am making using the little golden books. Now, before you get upset with me, the entire book is used in order in this journal, okay? So even though I took the original book apart, I am using all the pages in this super cute journal so you can still read the story. But look at all these extra pages I've added in. Cardstock, writing paper, Christmas cards. You'll see some envelopes, some bags, some file folder pieces, and just different types of notebook paper, graph paper, all sorts of things that would make a super fun journal, a Christmas gift. There's plenty of space to write, plenty of space to add pictures of your Christmas gatherings or whatever you would like to put inside. So I'm excited. I'm just flipping through this one here to show you. And there's a bag that is from Hobby Lobby. And I'll try to tell you where I found things as I'm going along. We are going to put another one together, the Santa's Surprise book that you saw in the thumbnail. So I'll be able to go a little bit slower and tell you, but I just want to give you kind of a preview by flipping through this first one here. So there you can see. Now I will talk a little bit more about the machine also that I used for binding, but look at what I love about the coil binding. You can flip the other pages all the way back to be able to write or work in your journal. Okay, Santa's Surprise book. This is another one that I found at a thrift store. That first page is actually missing, and there's writing in it and things like that. So we're going to give this little golden book some new life. Now, sometimes these staples are easy to pry apart. Sometimes, like this one, the covers were just going to come off. So there are two staples that are holding all the pages together under that gold spine. But as you can see, my covers just tore off, but it's okay because they're still wider than we're going to trim them. So since I couldn't get those staples out, I'm just taking my scissors and cutting right along that spine, and then we'll have all of our pages separated, ready to use in our journal. These books are usually about 1/16 shy of 8 inches tall. So I just want to flip through this book. Look at how cute these illustrations are. So we're going to keep the height, and then we're going to make our books 6 inches wide. That's going to give us kind of a standard size to be able to work with when we're trimming all of our pages and everything else that we're going to put inside. This is such a cute book. Oh, the little boy in the feetsy pajamas. I love it. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I'm putting a dull blade in my trimmer, one that I used for chipboard and thick pieces like this. And for some reason, the bottom didn't seem very flat. So I'm going to line the top edge up, and we're going to trim this at 6 inches. I'm going to go back and forth a few times and then flip my cover over and trim again because the blade will not go all the way through this thick book stock. So there is our cover trimmed nicely to 6 inches. We will do the same thing to the back cover as well. Now coming to our pages, sometimes when you're able to get the staples apart, the pages of the book will be in kind of 2 sections or 2 signatures. These I'm just going to trim a few at a time since they're all separated, since we had to cut the spine off, and I'm just trimming them all on that edge that was in the book to 6 inches. These pages are just so adorable. So just take your time, line them up. Sometimes if these books have been well loved, the pages will be a little bit bent. So you'll just maybe want to take a little bit of time to make sure you get them evened up and straightened out as much as possible. All right, so now we have our front and back covers and all of our pages. We're going to line them up and see that they are all cut exactly the same. So now we're going to start with the things that go inside. And the first thing I want to show you how to make is this double pocket, actually triple pocket, because there's a pocket in the top as well. We are going to need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock for this. Now, I prefer double-sided, but you know, the pads that you get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, they're usually single-sided, so but that's okay. You can have a little bit of white, and it'll just be showing a little bit on the pockets. I'll show you. All right, so the height of our page, we're going to cut down to 11 inches. So we're keeping the width at 12, and we're cutting the height at 11. Now with our scoreboard, on the 12-inch side, we're going to score it right in half at 6. Remember, that's how wide we cut our book covers and our book pages. So everything we put in our book, well, most everything is going to be 6 inches. Then on the 11-inch side, we're going to score at 8. Okay, this is going to be the part that flaps up for the pockets. All right, now we're going to fold it in half on that 6-inch score mark, and we're just really making sure we get our corners lined up. And we're going to hold it, make sure everything's nice and straight, and then burnish it down really well with your bone folder or a credit card, a gift card, something like that. Then we're going to fold up that 3-inch flap there on the bottom. So if you're using single-sided cardstock, where you see snowflakes here, that would just be white, and that is not a big, huge deal. So don't stress if you can't find double-sided cardstock. For all my other books I'm making after this video, I'm using single-sided cardstock for these pockets. I may put some decorative paper strips over the white, but we'll see. If it's still white, it's fine. All right, then on the front top, I am going to take a circle punch and I'm going to cut a little notch. That's just going to make it more obvious that there's a pocket also up at the top. All right, we're going to use a little bit of glue, and we're just going to glue this bottom edge together so that anything that we put in the big pocket that's at the top is going to stay in and it's not going to fall out of our book. We do not need to glue on the sides where the spiral coil is going to be because everything will be held in there. Okay, so there's some other things. I have some bags here. I did glue that flap. We're just going to have another bag. I cut a notch there. And then let's see what else. So for cardstock, I have craft white, red, and green. And we're just going to trim these a little bit. And I just am checking the height of my book here. And again, it is 7 and 15/16. So I'm going to trim everything, the height actually at 7 and 7/8 just to give a little more wiggle room. Then I'm going to cut my cardstock at 6 inches. So it's going to give me a 6-inch piece and a 5-inch piece. That's just for a little variety in the size. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of my pieces. You could definitely add more cardstock if you'd like, different shades of red and green, but I'm just going to go with 1 sheet of each of those. Then for a variety in designs and size, I have this 6x6 paper pad from Hobby Lobby. It is single-sided. I'm just going to pull out a couple sheets that I like, and we're going to add these to this book as well. We don't need to trim them because they're already 6 inches wide. Next, I have some 8.5 by 11. This also came from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to use 1 sheet here to make that little flip out page. And all we're going to do is on the 8.5 side, we're going to trim that down to the 7 and 7/8 for our height. And then we're going to get our scoreboard and we're going to score it at 6. So it's going to, we're going to score it and then fold it. And kind of like when we just cut those solid color cardstocks, it's going to be a little flip out. So the spiral will be on the white there, and then it'll just open like that, a little flip out page. So a little extra fun. All right, for 12 by 12, I'm actually going to get 2 designs from this pad. Was from Michaels this year. It's called Merry and Bright. They have some super cute ones. I kind of went through all my Christmas cardstock for this project, and I'm using up a lot of my stuff. So I'm going to be needing to order some more collections, probably from Echo Park. But I do like these papers. They're super pretty, and they have a little bit of pink in them, but mostly red and green. So with these, I'm going to cut in half at 6 inches and then cut it down to the 7 7/8. So for each design, we're going to have 1 sheet that is the full book size. And then you'll see we'll come back to the other half of our 12 by 12, and we're going to cut a couple smaller pieces. You probably saw them when we were flipping through. Just, they're kind of like bookmark size. So coming back here, I'm going to cut this one at 4 inches, and then the height of 7 7/8. And then the other design, I think I'm going to cut it at 3 just to make it a little bit different. So I'm going to use all 4 of these pieces in this book. Now, if you're making a bunch of these at one time, you can definitely mix and match all your big sheets and small sheets. All right, another thing I like looking for at thrift stores are notebooks. So this is a columnar pad. I'm not sure who uses it, maybe for marking attendance or something. It looks kind of old, but it has a green tint to the pages, which I thought was cool. So I'm just trimming off where the holes are, and now I'm going to trim it to 6 inches wide, and then the 7 7/8. I think I used 2 sheets of this that I'm going to put in each of my journals. All right, so this is where it gets fun. You can just go through notebooks. Here is a, what's this called? Graph paper composition notebook from Office Max or something. I'm going to pull out a bunch of pages from this and trim these down, make them look nice and pretty, trim off that torn edge, and trim these down to 6 inches by 7 7/8 as well. So here are some other papers from a notebook that was gifted to me. These papers are a little bit thicker, which is nice. I'm just going to trim those down to 5 inches, and they should already be, maybe they need to be trimmed a tiny little bit height-wise to fit in our book. Now, the nice thicker paper that I found, I'm going to show you right here. These are actually Happy Planner refill pages that I totally forgot I had in my stash from my Happy Planner days. So I was very excited to find those. So now I'm going to put a couple of the lined sheets in each journal, as well as a few of the graph paper sheets. So just trimming everything down. If it's larger than the book, I'm trimming it to the book size. If it's smaller, not a big deal. I'm just kind of cleaning it up. And we're going to have some different sizes of papers in our journal. Another paper item we're going to add into our journal is a file folder. You can get packages of these at Dollar Tree. I actually got a few packages. I'm trimming it to 6 inches and then cutting it to the height. And then we're going to put the book size one and then the small little flap as well. I also found some of these clasp envelopes at Dollar Tree in packages of 8. We're going to have to remove that little metal clasp there, but it's okay because we're going to trim right where that was and then punch a little notch as well. It's just fun to make some of these little tuck spots that you're going to see in a minute. We're going to add some goodies too. All right, so this is just a little junior, what do you call this? Junior legal pad. These pages are kind of thin, but that's okay to have different textures. I'm just going to trim these a tiny bit. They are smaller than the book anyway. Okay, Christmas cards. I went to a thrift store and there was a box. So I thought, you know what, why not add some little Christmas cards in here? And then at Dollar Tree for $1.25, I found this cute holiday baking book. The pictures are gorgeous. The pages are a little thin, but that's okay. We're going to add one of these pages into each of our journals as well. I just love those cupcakes. They're so fun and festive for Christmas. This is another book that I've been taking pictures out of. So I'm going to trim a couple of these. These are a glossy, heavier paper just to add some more Christmas graphics to our journal. And again, these can be left as is or can be a place where the person using the journal can add some pictures. All right, I'm going to speed this part up. I'm basically using the Rudolph journal to help me lay out the extras going into the pages of the Santa book. So you can just kind of see I'm kind of matching it a little bit. It's not really a formula. I'm just kind of putting about 3 to 5 extra elements between each of the book pages. So things that look good color-wise, give some nice contrast, trying to also include writing paper as well as like the solid or patterned cardstock to be able to add pictures. All right, now that we have all of our pages in order, I am so happy to introduce you to this bookbinding coil machine by Epoium. I think that's how you say it. They sent this to me and I'm excited to use it for this video. It came with all of the things you see here, the machine, a box of 1/2-inch coils, some plastic cover sheets, all the tools, and it's a very sturdy machine. Now, I want to show you on the side here, you can change the distance from the edge of your paper and the holes. So I'm going to show you, you can do 3mm, 5mm, or 7mm. So this first one is at 3, which is actually what I'm using for my journals. I just didn't want the holes to go in too far on my pages. Now this one is going to be 5, and you're just going to see that there's a little bit more space there. And then I have the 7mm as well. I just cut these pieces so you could see the difference. You'll also see there on the base of the machine, there's lots of tips as far as how many sheets you can punch with different diameters of coils, where you can line up your pages before you punch them, and so forth. So I'm using 3mm. That's what that 3 was. All right, so we're going to start with our cover, and these are really, really thick. But look at this. I had to push pretty hard, but it punched through no problem. And look at that. Ah, I love it. Now, do you see I have a couple pins pulled out? that means it's not going to punch those holes. I did that at the very top of my book and the very bottom so that no holes were going off the edge. So that's awesome that you can do that. And so I'm just taking a few of my sheets now, and we're going to get all those punched. Now, these are not the coils that came with the machine because for these journals, I wanted to use 1-inch coils. I did purchase these on Amazon. There will be in the description of this video a discount code from the company that sent me the binding machine. They are offering a discount to my viewers for 1 week only. So if you're interested, if you think that making journals is something you would like to do, this is a great machine, or maybe you need it for work. But I got these 1-inch coils on Amazon as well. I'm bending the end and then trimming, and this is what's going to keep your coil from coming out of the holes of your book. Now, you better believe I'm keeping those 4-inch pieces that I'm not using because you never know when you might need to make a small book. So these are 12-inch coils and they are 1 inch in diameter, but the machine did come with a whole box of 1/2 inch, also 100. So look at this. I love it. I love this spiral. And of course, I love mostly that you can flip all the other pages back. I just think it's awesome. And there's going to be lots of room in these journals to add goodies to. So let's do that right now. Like I said, went through all my Christmas scrapbooking papers and journaling cards, and it doesn't even matter. They're going to be like mixed up styles. We're going to add some fun ephemera to these journals. I am making these for my craft show. I am going to make 20 Christmas little golden book journals. I may include a tape runner with it. I'm not sure. It might just be the journals with all the ephemera and goodies, some paper, some stickers from my stash. I'm probably going to add a bunch more stuff, but I'm just adding in with some red, green, and white paper clips to these journals. How fun are these? Now, what I need help with, you guys, is how much to charge for these, okay? So maybe at the end when you see all the goodies in them and stuff, you can give me an idea. There are some crazy little golden book junk journals sold on Etsy for like over $100. That's insane. I did also want to mention, if you want to make these journals and you don't want to buy a spiral machine, you can use a hole punch and those metal book rings. You know what I'm talking about? I went to Dollar Tree today because I used to be able to find them there. Of course, I couldn't find any, but they're the little book rings that open and close, and they're on like a little hinge. I have seen lots of YouTube videos where people have made these journals and they just punch 2 or 3 holes in all the pages and put those book rings. Those are super cute too. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can make more like a traveler's notebook kind where you're sewing in the signatures. The only thing I don't like about that is the pages don't lay flat, and I don't really want to sew things, but there are some really pretty ones using that as well. All right, so I'm just adding some of my scrap papers that the person getting this journal can trim down to use behind any pictures, whatnot, little journaling cards. I am going to add some stickers here in a little bit as well. And these are just super fun. I can't wait to hear in the comments what you guys think of these. I know some people just have a real aversion to doing anything to books, but I feel like because the entire storybook is in this journal, that I'm not like destroying these children's books. The book is still there, okay? Now, I'm just showing you a small example of ways you could embellish the covers. I just have some rickrack here from Walmart is the white one, and Michael's is the red one. People also add some, what are these called? Oh, tassels to the side. I'm going to make a very small one just to show you. I don't really want to use all that trim on each book, but I'll give you some ideas. You can also, like I was showing there, decorate the inside as well. So I just glued that rickrack on, and you can see I've added a lot of things inside the journal. Here is just a few strands of that trim on a lobster clasp, clasped to the very top ring. And I'm just so excited with these two. I can't wait to make the rest of these journals. Now, tell me in the comments what you guys think of this project. Tell me how much you think I should charge for these. I mean, I figure I pay like $2 to $3 for the golden book. The spirals cost about 50 cents a piece. And then I'm using a lot of my cardstock and paper and things like that. So help me figure out what to charge for these at my craft show. And let me know, do you think I should include a tape runner, a glue stick, or just have the journals? All right, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm very excited about these, and I can't wait to make more of them. Thanks so much, and let me know what you think in the comments. I'll also have some other suggested videos for you to watch after this one. Thanks so much, and take care.